They told us slowing down is just part of aging. But what if every step after 70 holds the key to living longer and feeling younger? Welcome to Elder Secrets, where we uncover the powerful truths time tried to hide. In today's episode, The Truth About Walking After 70, we're stepping into a habit that could transform your golden years. Let's begin.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into something, something many of us think we understand, especially if you're over 70. It's about walking.
Simple act, right?
Exactly, but here's the really surprising part. Everything you think you know about getting older and mobility, that whole idea that walking just naturally declines, that you inevitably slow down after 70.
Yeah, that common wisdom.
Well, our deep dive into the research suggests it's time to completely flip that script.
That's absolutely right. Our mission today really is to shatter those myths. They're so pervasive. We're going to show how your walking can actually be stronger, more purposeful, maybe even more confident at 70 than it might have been at 50.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, if you understand what's really going on inside your body. We've pulled together insights from a whole stack of in-depth research on aging and mobility for this.
So this isn't about just managing decline or accepting limitations then?
Got it all, yeah.
This is more about unlocking capabilities, things that are already there, just maybe hidden, waiting to be rediscovered.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Capabilities you might not even realize you still possess.
Okay, so what stands out to you as the biggest misconception? Where should we start?
Oh, the biggest one, hands down, is that narrative we hear all the time, often, even from medical folks, that hitting 70 means this inevitable decline in walking.
Right, you see the charts.
Exactly, the charts. Stride length shrinks, speed drops, fall risk goes up. They talk about sarcopenia, muscle loss, bone density loss, balance decline, as if these are just like fixed consequences, unavoidable part of the deal.
Okay, so what's the surprising truth the research is telling us instead?
The surprising truth, and it really is surprising to many, is that these changes, they aren't really caused by aging itself, not fundamentally. They mostly stem from disuse, fear, and just a profound misunderstanding of how capable the human body still is after 70. I mean, think about it. Your body at 70 isn't just worn out. It's got 7 decades of really sophisticated movement patterns stored up, muscle memory, a nervous system that's been fine-tuning balance and coordination its whole life. It's incredibly sophisticated, experienced.
So it's almost like your brain trying to protect you actually ends up locking you into this fearful pattern.
You've hit on it. That's the psychological trap. You start believing you need to protect yourself from movement.
Right. Be careful.
Yeah, be careful. And that leads to this cautious, tentative, sometimes really fearful way of walking. And guess what happens?
The body listens.
The body responds directly. Your stride shortens. Not because you physically can't take longer steps, but because your brain is screaming, caution. Your balance feels shakier, not because your inner ear suddenly gave out, but because you stopped challenging it. You stopped practicing.
But okay, here's the crucial question then. If your brain can train itself for caution, can it also train itself for confidence, for strength?
That is the million-dollar question, and the answer is yes.
Yeah.
That's the empowering part. The ultimate takeaway here is that your body's capabilities aren't set in stone. At 70, you're not just, maintaining, you're actually primed for growth.
Growth. Okay.
Yes, your muscles can absolutely still get stronger, your balance can improve, your stride can lengthen, and your confidence can soar, really, beyond what you might imagine right now. It just takes shifting that fundamental approach.
Now, let's be clear, though. We're not saying nothing changes physically, right? Things do shift.
Of course, yes. That's important to acknowledge. Some things change.
But, as we often say on this show, different doesn't necessarily mean worse.
Exactly. The research suggests thinking of it more like a vintage wine. A body at 70 has a certain wisdom, a resilience it just didn't have at 30.
Okay, I like that analogy. Can you walk us through some of those more nuanced physical shifts then? What actually is changing?
Sure. So, for instance, you do tend to experience a slight loss of fast-twitch muscle fibers. Those are the ones for quick, explosive movement.
Right.
But, and this is key, the insight here is that this loss is largely preventable and even reversible to a degree. With the right kind of movement. It's not inevitable decline.
Okay. What about bones? We hear so much about bone density.
Yeah, bone density changes do happen. But bone is living tissue. It responds directly to stress. So weight-bearing activity like purposeful walking actually signals your bones to get stronger, or at least maintain their density. Fragility often comes from disuse, not just the calendar age.
And the nervous system, or our joints, people worry about joints wearing out?
Well, with the nervous system, reaction times might be a fraction slower, sure. But think about this. Your brain has 7 decades of experience predicting problems, preventing falls, navigating the world. It's often exponentially better in some ways at anticipating and solving movement problems on the fly.
More efficient.
Exactly. And joints. They are designed to move. Movement is what lubricates them, feeds the cartilage, keeps them healthy. Stopping movement to protect your joints often backfires. It actually makes them worse.
Okay, that's counterintuitive, but makes sense. What about the cardiovascular system? I imagine that's an area where people really feel age sometimes.
It's true, your peak output probably isn't what it was at 20. Let's be realistic. But the cardiovascular system is incredibly trainable at any age. Your heart is a muscle. It responds to appropriate stress. Walking is a fantastic example of effective exercise that your heart will adapt to, no matter how many candles were on your last birthday cake.
It's about consistency then, and the right challenge.
Consistency and appropriate challenge, yes. Not necessarily pushing to the absolute limit, but consistent, moderate effort.
You know, we've talked about these physical changes, but what really struck me reading through the research was this point. The most powerful shift, the one that maybe matters most, isn't physical at all.
Ah, yes.
It's psychological. It's in your mind. Can you expand on that? How critical is this aspect?
It is absolutely critical. Often it's the psychological shift, not the physical one, that really drives the decline we see. What happens is many people over 70 start identifying as old or fragile.
Instead of experienced or resilient.
Precisely. They focus on what they think they can't do anymore. And this mindset, this belief system, it often creates the very physical decline people attribute to just getting older.
So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Very much so. If you expect your body to fail, well, it often complies. If you treat it as fragile, it becomes fragile. If you walk scared, tentatively, you actually increase your real risk of falling. It's this powerful feedback loop.
Wow.
So the call to action, really, for you listening, is to try and shift that perspective. Start working with your body's changes, leveraging that experience, not fighting against perceived limitations.
Okay, so let's get into the mechanics a bit, but maybe from the brain's perspective. How does your brain actually do walking? Because it's way more than just putting one foot in front of the other, isn't it?
Oh, it's a masterpiece of coordination.
Yeah.
A true brain-body symphony. Your brain is constantly integrating this incredibly complex stream of information.
Where?
From your eyes, obviously. From your inner ear for balance. From these internal sensors called proprioceptors in your muscles and joints, they tell your brain exactly where your limbs are in space without you looking.
Right.
And even from pressure sensors in the soles of your feet. All of this gets synthesized instantly to coordinate hundreds of muscles just for one single, seemingly simple step.
That's amazing.
And what's really fascinating is that the brain at 70 often becomes more sophisticated, more efficient at this basic integration. The challenge, where things sometimes feel harder, is when it has to process multiple streams simultaneously.
Like walking while talking, or navigating a busy street.
Exactly. Or walking on an uneven surface you're not used to. But here's the breakthrough insight from the research. This isn't a limitation you just have to accept. It's actually a profound training opportunity. You can actively improve your walking ability, maybe even beyond what it was when you were younger, through focused attention and progressive challenges.
So neuroplasticity is still very much in play here.
Absolutely. Your brain remains adaptable. It's always ready to rewire itself based on what you ask it to do. Every time you challenge your walking, maybe with new patterns, different terrains, varying your speed, you're quite literally rewiring your brain for better function.
Which highlights the unexpected danger of always walking carefully.
Precisely. Walking carefully all the time, very slowly, very tentatively, it trains your brain for caution. It reinforces fear. And it can actually weaken or damage the very neural pathways you want to strengthen for confident, stable walking.
So what's the dynamic alternative then? How do you challenge it safely?
You do it progressively. Start simple. Maybe try walking on slightly uneven surfaces sometimes, like grass in a park or a packed dirt path, instead of only smooth pavement.
Right.
Vary your speed during your walk. Maybe walk briskly for 30 seconds, then return to your normal pace. Repeat that a few times. These small, dynamic challenges, they strengthen those crucial neural pathways and improve your brain's processing efficiency.
And walking with purpose, with confidence, that actually trains the nervous system too.
It does. When you walk with purpose, head up, anticipating success, you're training your nervous system to react more quickly, to make better adjustments. Your balance improves not because your inner ear got younger, but because your brain got smarter at using the information it provides.
Okay, this explains so much. This is the why moment, isn't it? It helps explain why some 75-year-olds walk with this amazing confidence and grace, almost like dancers,
Uh-huh.
while others shuffle along fearfully. It's not just luck or genetics. It's about how they've trained or not trained their nervous system.
It's hugely about nervous system training and adaptation, yes.
All right, let's tackle another giant myth. One the source material pretty much calls the lie that it is, saying it's maybe caused more damage than any other belief about aging.
You must mean muscle weakness.
Yes, the idea of inevitable, irreversible muscle weakness after 70.
Yeah, that's a really crucial one to debunk. Because while, yes, some natural decline in muscle mass happens, the technical term is sarcopenia, the rate and the extent of that decline are largely under your control.
Really?
Yes. Studies show surprisingly minimal loss for people who stay active even well into their 80s and 90s. The critical insight here, the one everyone needs to hear, is that muscle tissue is incredibly responsive to training at any age.
Even in your 90s?
Absolutely. Research has clearly shown that people in their 90s can significantly increase their muscle strength with appropriate training. It is absolutely a use it or lose it policy that remains in full effect your entire life.
And walking, we often think of it as cardio, but it's strength training too, isn't it? Not just for the legs.
Definitely not just legs. Purposeful walking is a comprehensive strength training exercise. Think about it.
Yeah.
Every step engages your core for stability, your hips, your ankles, even your arms if you swing them properly. It loads your bones, challenges stabilizing muscles, and improves coordination throughout your entire body.
So there's a huge difference then between, say, shuffling along and really striding.
A massive difference. Shuffling minimizes the challenge. It might feel safer in the moment, but over time, it actually makes you weaker and less stable.
Yeah.
Striding, on the other hand, taking appropriately long steps for you, lifting your feet clearly off the ground, pushing off with a bit of purpose from your back foot, swinging your arms naturally, keeping your head held high. That's what builds strength. Every single purposeful step is a rep, building muscle and power.
And the beauty is, this is scalable, right? You don't need a gym membership tomorrow.
Not at all. It's completely scalable to where you are right now. Even just 5 minutes of mindful, purposeful walking starts building strength. No gym required, just intention.
Okay, let's talk about balance. If there's one area where fear can really take hold and maybe paralyze us when it comes to mobility, it's the fear of falling.
Understandably so. A fall can have serious consequences.
And the conventional wisdom, what we offer here is make your environment super predictable. Remove all the rugs, install grab bars everywhere, always hold on to something.
Right. The safety first by avoidance approach.
But the research we looked at indicates this approach can actually backfire quite significantly. How does that happen?
It backfires because it treats balance as this fixed, finite resource that you need to conserve, like money in the bank. But balance isn't like that.
It's not something you spend.
No, it's an active skill. It's something you do. And like any skill, it gets better with practice and appropriate challenges, and it gets worse. It atrophies with disuse.
Okay.
So when you make your environment perfectly predictable and never challenge your balance systems, you become less prepared for the unexpected trip or slip in the real world. Your balance responses get rusty because they're never practiced.
So only walking on perfectly flat, familiar surfaces actually makes you less safe when you encounter something different.
Ironically, yes, in the long run. You increase your risk of falling when faced with a novel situation. Not because you're old, but because you've systematically undertrained your balance responses.
Wow. Okay, so what's the alternative then, if making everything safe isn't the best answer?
The alternative is to progressively and safely challenge your balance. It's about building the skill, not avoiding situations that require it.
How do you do that safely?
Again, start simple. Think about sometimes walking on slightly uneven surfaces, grass, packed dirt, maybe a slightly sloped path, instead of just smooth, flat pavement. Vary your walking speed, speeding up and slowing down challenges balance.
And we talked about dual tasking earlier.
Yes. Dual task training, like walking while counting backward or naming items in a category, is excellent. It trains your brain to maintain balance, even when your attention is partly elsewhere, which is crucial for real-world safety.
This approach just makes so much more sense physiologically. It reduces the actual risk of falling over time because you're building competence.
Exactly. And it fosters confidence, which in turn...
Breaks that virtuous cycle you mentioned.
Precisely. When you know your balance is adaptable and trained, you walk with more confidence, you move more freely, and you actually become more stable as a result. Confidence breeds stability.
Okay, another common thing you hear, especially after 70, is feeling tired quickly when walking. And the immediate assumption is often, well, that's just part of aging.
Yeah, the energy decline assumption.
But the source material talks about something called the energy conservation trap. Can you explain what that is?
Yeah, it's a really insidious downward spiral that catches a lot of people. It goes like this. You feel tired, so you walk less.
Makes sense.
But walking less leads to cardiovascular deconditioning. Your heart and lungs get less efficient, which then makes walking feel more tiring, even for short distances.
Oh, I see.
Which then leads you to walk even less. And round it goes. This has almost nothing to do with your chronological age and almost everything to do with your current level of conditioning.
So that cardiovascular trainability we talked about earlier is key here too.
Absolutely key.
Yeah.
Your cardiovascular system is still incredibly trainable. Remember, your heart is a muscle. It responds to demand. Your circulation, your cells' ability to produce energy, all of this can be optimized at any age through consistent, appropriate challenge. You break the cycle by gradually increasing the demand.
So for someone listening, how do they find that sweet spot, that right level of intensity for their walks to actually build energy, not just drain it?
You want to aim for a pace that feels moderately challenging, but still sustainable. A good rule of thumb is the talk test. You should be able to carry on a conversation, maybe in shorter sentences, but you should definitely feel like you're working, not breathless, but working.
Okay.
And when you consistently hit that zone, even for short periods initially, your body starts making these amazing positive adaptations. Your heart gets more efficient, pumps more blood with each beat. Your circulation improves. Your muscles get better at using oxygen. Your cells literally produce more energy.
And the amazing thing is, as your walking fitness improves, you don't just have more energy for walking.
Exactly. You have more energy for everything, for daily activities, for hobbies, for playing with grandkids. You often sleep better, think more clearly. It boosts your overall vitality. It's not just about the walk itself.
Okay, beyond the walking itself, how we fuel and recover is obviously huge. Nutrition seems like a really foundational piece for mobility, doesn't it?
Absolutely fundamental. You can't build or maintain a strong, capable body without the right building blocks.
And protein seems especially key here.
Protein is critical. Your muscles need adequate protein to repair the microdamage from exercise, which is how they get stronger, and just to maintain their mass day to day. And here's something surprising for many. Protein needs actually tend to increase slightly as we age, especially if you're active, not decrease.
Really? Increase?
Yes. The general recommendation for active older adults is often around 1.2 to maybe 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day.
Can you translate that, like, for a 150-pound person?
Sure. A 150-pound person is about 68 kilograms. So they'd be aiming for roughly, let's say, 80 to maybe 110 grams of protein daily.
Great.
Spread throughout the day.
Okay. And timing matters, like after walking.
Timing does seem to matter, yes. Consuming some protein, maybe 20-30 grams, within a few hours after your walk seems optimal for stimulating that muscle repair and growth process. And focus on high-quality, complete proteins, things like lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy, or good plant-based combos like beans and rice, or things like quinoa and soy.
Good advice. What about hydration? That feels like something easy to overlook, but potentially impactful.
Hugely impactful and often overlooked. Even mild dehydration can significantly affect your balance, your energy levels, even your thinking clarity. And the tricky part is, our sensation of thirst can become less reliable as we age.
So you can be dehydrated and not even feel thirsty.
Exactly. So you can't just rely on thirst. The best advice is consistent sipping throughout the day. A simple visual goal is to aim for pale yellow urine that usually indicates good hydration.
Simple check. Any key vitamins or minerals, or just general advice?
Well, things like vitamin D, B vitamins, magnesium are all really important for muscle function, nerve function, energy production. But honestly, the simplest and best advice, focus on eating a varied diet that's rich in whole foods. Lots of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, healthy fats. That usually covers your basis for the micronutrients, plus gives you antioxidants and steady energy.
Okay, and finally, recovery. It's so easy to focus just on the exercise part, but recovery is where the magic happens, right?
That's exactly right. Your body doesn't get stronger during the walk. It gets stronger during the rest and recovery period afterwards when it repairs and adapts.
And sleep is a big part of that.
Sleep is paramount. Aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep is crucial. It's not just for feeling rested. It directly impacts your balance, your energy levels, your mood, your motivation to stick with your walking routine. If you're struggling with sleep, the research strongly suggests addressing it as a key part of your mobility plan.
That's a great point. And what about rest days? Should you just do nothing?
Not necessarily nothing. Active recovery can be really beneficial. Gentle movement on your off days, things like light stretching, maybe some gentle yoga, or even just a very easy, shorter walk can help maintain flexibility, promote blood flow to help with repair, without adding significant stress. Listen to your body.
Okay, we touched on environment earlier regarding balance, but let's circle back to it more broadly. Because that conventional wisdom about making your home environment safe and predictable by removing every possible hazard,
Yeah, the bubble wrap approach.
it feels intuitive, but you're saying it can backfire.
It really can because, again, while it comes from a good place, it inadvertently treats you, the person, as fragile and incapable of adapting. Instead of making you truly safer in the long run, it makes you less prepared for the variability of the real world outside your perfectly controlled home.
So the path to real environmental mastery, as the research calls it, isn't avoidance.
No, it's systematic progressive exposure. It's about thoughtfully, gradually exposing yourself to different walking environments to build your skills and confidence.
How does that look in practice?
You start where you feel confident, maybe a familiar park path. Then you gradually introduce small, new variables. Perhaps try walking on the grass beside the path for a bit.
Okay.
Try a path with a gentle, grassy slope. Try a gravel path, maybe walk at a different time of day, like dawn or dusk, when the lighting is different, that actually trains your visual system's adaptability.
So it applies indoors too. Mastering different floor surfaces, maybe stairs with more intention.
Absolutely. It's about consciously mastering the different challenges you encounter, both indoors, smooth floors, carpets, stairs, and outdoors, concrete, asphalt, grass, gravel, maybe gentle hills, different weather conditions. You approach them with mindfulness and purpose, learning how your body adapts rather than just avoiding them out of fear.
The goal then is becoming competent and confident across a wide range of conditions.
That's the goal, because that competence and confidence is what truly underpins your independence and your freedom to move through the world as you wish.
Now, beyond all the physical and neurological benefits we've discussed, walking isn't just mechanical, is it? It's also a really profound social and emotional experience.
Oh, hugely so. This aspect is critical for quality of life and often underestimated.
How so?
Well, think about walking with others. It provides natural accountability. You're less likely to skip your walk if someone's waiting for you. It adds motivation. And it's just more enjoyable sometimes. It's a fantastic low-pressure way to connect, build relationships, and combat the social isolation that can sometimes creep in.
So finding walking partners or groups can be really beneficial.
Definitely. Check community centers, senior groups, places of worship, or just ask friends or family. But that said, walking alone also has its own unique and powerful benefits.
Like what?
It can be incredibly meditative, restorative,
Yeah.
a quiet time for reflection, for noticing your surroundings, for just being present with yourself and the world. Both social and solo walking have immense value.
And the direct emotional benefits. Mood, anxiety.
Massive. Walking has a profound positive impact on mood. It's a natural anxiety reducer. There's something inherently calming about the rhythmic motion. And when you do it outdoors, you get the added benefits of natural light, fresh air, connection with nature, all proven stress reducers and mental health boosters.
And ultimately, it ties back to that sense of accomplishment, doesn't it?
It really does. Being able to walk confidently, maintain your mobility, it fosters a deep sense of personal accomplishment, pride, and crucially, independence and autonomy. These aren't small things. They are fundamental to psychological well-being as we age.
So it's about reframing walking, not just as exercise you have to do.
Exactly. But as this holistic activity that nourishes your body, your mind, and your spirit, when you see it that way, it transforms into something you genuinely want to do.
Okay, for those listeners who are feeling motivated now and want to really maximize their mobility, maybe take their walking game up another notch, let's talk about some advanced strategies.
Great idea. For people ready for a bit more challenge, there are definitely ways to elevate things.
What's it first?
First, consider interval walking. We touched on varying speed, but this is a bit more structured. It means intentionally alternating between periods of more intense walking and recovery periods.
Like, how would that work?
For example, you might walk at your normal, comfortable pace for, say, 2 minutes, and then walk quite briskly, really pushing it safely for 30 seconds. then back to the normal pace for 2 minutes, then another 30 seconds brisk. Repeat that cycle several times.
And that helps with...
It's fantastic for improving cardiovascular fitness more quickly, and it also improves your overall walking efficiency, how much ground you cover with each step. And like everything else, it's completely scalable. You adjust the times and intensity to your current level.
Okay, what else?
Mindful walking. This goes beyond just putting one foot in front of the other. It's about applying deliberate, conscious attention to how you're walking.
Focusing on posture.
Yes, focusing on your posture, keeping shoulders relaxed, head balanced nicely over your spine, but also paying attention to how your foot contacts the ground, how you push off from your toes. This mindful attention helps you identify and correct inefficient habits and really increases your body awareness as you move.
Makes sense. And integrating balance more directly.
Exactly. Balance integration. This means weaving specific safe balance challenges into your regular walks.
Like what kind of things?
Simple things. Maybe try walking heel to toe, like on a sobriety line, for just 5 or 10 steps. Or try walking backward for a few safe steps. Or even just practice turning your head slowly from side to side while you continue walking forward. These little drills directly train your balance systems to handle dynamic challenges, making you much more robust in real-world situations where you might get bumped or need to turn suddenly.
Okay, and then cognitive integration, that dual task training again?
Yes, bringing it in intentionally. This is consciously performing mental tasks while you walk. We mentioned counting backward by sevens or naming things in a category like types of animals or fruits.
Why is that so important?
Because it directly improves your brain's ability to maintain coordination and balance even when your attention is divided. That's a crucial skill for navigating busy environments, having conversations while walking, basically for real-world functioning.
Got it.
And finally, terrain progression. This is simply a more systematic approach to what we discussed earlier, gradually and safely exposing yourself to more challenging surfaces and environments. Start easy. Maybe progress from smooth pavement to slightly uneven grass, then perhaps to a well-maintained dirt trail, then maybe something with gentle slopes or more varied texture. You build your skills and confidence step by step, expanding your repertoire of adaptable movement.
So there you have it. It seems the overwhelming message from the research is that walking after 70 is absolutely not about managing inevitable decline.
Not all.
It's actually this massive opportunity for growth, for reclaiming powerful capabilities that maybe were always there, just waiting for you to understand them and re-engage.
That's beautifully put. You absolutely have the ability right now to transform your mobility and your confidence.
Your body is this incredible self-sufficient system, isn't it? Designed to adapt, designed to thrive based on the demands you place on it.
It's always listening, always ready to respond to the signals you send it through movement and intention.
So maybe the final thought for everyone listening is this. What one small, purposeful step will you take this week? One step to challenge your body's assumed limitations and start rediscovering its truly incredible resilience.